ABCD 高高的大家拢来学英语是。Hello class， 大家好 ，Welcome back。今日咱要甲 T-Dome 上尾一段讲好了，吼然后我则搁甲规个课文10几段做一个播放一次给大家听。先开始，咱先来甲课文听一次。
So to wrap this all up, T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort. It's a system of systems that combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry with U.S. hardware and lessons learned from Israel.
A decade-long project to completely change the island's ability to defend itself.
And as you've said, the biggest challenge through it all is integration.
It all comes down to that. Making American software, Taiwanese missiles, and Norwegian platforms all work together inside one single unified digital brain.
So to wrap this all up, T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort. It's a system of systems that combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry with U.S. hardware and lessons learned from Israel.
So to wrap this all up, T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort. 好，所以呢 ，to wrap this all up， 我们把这个整个总结一下 ，wrap up，wrap up，wrap 就是包的意思，好，那个包包的个 summarize， 做总结 summarize， 好 summary 的动词。有时候字拼错没关系，因为你会念，电脑会替你改。summary 应该是2个没有错。conclude 我们来总结一下。T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort。好，以这个后面零加错了，40 billion 写成字就好了。40 billion 好，400亿美金的一个 effort 努力，好。It's a system of systems， 好，很多个系统合起来的一个大的系统。It's a system of systems that combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry with U.S. hardware and lessons learned from Israel. 好。It's a system of systems that 这个 that 就是 a system of systems， 这个是主词，后面是 combines 动词，所以这个 that 不能省。It's a system of systems that combine 好什么 with 什么，好 combine with 看不到，可以写过来一点。That combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry, combined with U.S. hardware and lessons that are learned from Israel. 懂吗？就是结合什么？台湾自己的很棒的这个高科技工业和美国的硬体，还有从以色列学来的这个 lessons 这个做法。
Learned learned from Israel.
A decade-long project to completely change the island's ability to defend itself.
And as you've said, the biggest challenge through it all is integration.
It all comes down
a decade long， 这个应该是有 hyphen 的，好 ，decade long。OK，a decade-long project to completely change the island's ability to defend itself。这个长达将近10年的这个计划呢，会完全改变台湾的这个防卫自己的能力。And as you've said， 就像你说过的 ，the biggest challenge through it all is integration。啊，现在最大的挑战就是要把它如何整合那么多武器啊，以前没有 AI 嘛，哈，那现在透过 AI 要来把它整合 ，integrate， 啊 ，integrate 整合啊，整合。Put them together, huh?
Integration.
It all comes down to that. Making American software, Taiwanese missiles, and Norwegian platforms all work together inside one single unified digital brain.
It all comes down to that， 好，对，整个都说到了整合。Making American software, Taiwanese missiles, and Norwegian platforms all work together inside one single unified digital brain。好 ，making 什么什么什么什么，好，这个主词很长哦。Making American software, Taiwanese missiles。And Norwegian platforms， 这个是主词 ，all work together， 好，整个在一起这个工作 ，inside one single unified digital brain， 好，然后就有在哪一个 brain 里面工作，把这些各个不同的系统的东西整合在一个统一的，好。数位的脑就是那个 sovereign AI， 好，我们前面讲到 sovereign AI 主权 AI， 好，都由整个主权 AI 来控制它。OK， 好，这段真短，咱过来个听一摆。
So to wrap this all up, T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort. It's a system of systems that combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry with U.S. hardware and lessons learned from Israel.
A decade-long project to completely change the island's ability to defend itself.
And as you've said, the biggest challenge through it all is integration.
It all comes down to that. Making American software, Taiwanese missiles, and Norwegian platforms all work together inside one single unified digital brain.
好，T-Dome， 咱自头到尾，甲今仔日讲了啊，即摆咱要甲 T-Dome 的规个课文，好，从头到尾播放一次。因为这个软体有更新啊，所以即摆这个音转字吼，袂歹拢足准的，吼。好，咱来个听一摆。
We're looking at a really massive long-term plan to build a powerful defense system over Taiwan. It's called T-Dome, the Taiwan Shield.
That's right. And when we say a shield, we're not just talking about, a few missile launchers here and there.
No, this is much bigger. The vision is to build a whole interconnected, multi-layered air and missile shield for the entire island.
You can almost think of it like a protective bubble, a bubble that's smart enough to see and stop threats coming from, well, from any direction.
And the idea itself, it's not entirely new. It's openly inspired by systems like Israel's Iron Dome, but this is much broader.
Far broader in scope.
So our mission today is pretty simple. We want to break down what this system of systems is, why it's being built, and just how big of a project it is. And we'll do it using clear, easy to understand language.
And that scale is important. T-Dome isn't designed for just one type of threat. It's built to counter a whole range of aerial attacks.
You mean like everything?
Everything. From fast fighter jets, small drones, all the way up to cruise missiles and even the most dangerous threats, ballistic missiles.
Right. And you called it a system of systems. That means it's not one single weapon you can point to.
Exactly. It's a huge digital network. Imagine thousands of different parts radars, missile launchers, command centers, all working together instantly like one big coordinated machine.
So if they're building this incredibly complex thing, what's the ultimate goal? What are they trying to achieve?
It really boils down to two main goals. The first one is deterrence.
Deterrence, making it so scary to attack that nobody tries.
Precisely. You build a shield so strong, so capable, that any potential attack becomes incredibly difficult, very, very costly, and most likely to fail. You raise the price of war so high that it just never starts.
That makes sense. But for that to work, the system has to be believable, right?
Yeah.
So what's the second goal? The one for if a conflict actually happens?
That brings us to speed and smarts. The big worry for Taiwan is something called a saturation attack.
That's when an enemy just throws everything at you at once.
Yes, hundreds, maybe thousands of missiles and drones all at the same time, trying to just overwhelm the defenses with sheer numbers. T-Dome has to be fast enough and smart enough to handle that chaos.
To sort through it all and fire back faster than any human could on their own.
Exactly.
Okay, so to handle that chaos, you need a powerful brain. Let's jump into the core parts, starting with the thing that runs the whole show, the command network.
Right. In military terms, it's called C2 or C5 ISR, but, for our purposes, the brain is the perfect way to describe it.
So what is this brain made of?
It's the network, the computers, the software, the secure communication that links everything together. Its number one job is to collect all the data from every single sensor they have.
Radars, ships, observation posts, everything.
All of it. But here's the challenge. That data comes in from all different kinds of systems.
Yeah.
Old Taiwanese radars, new American missiles. They don't naturally speak the same language.
So the brain has to be a translator.
A very fast translator. It has to take all that different information and fuse it. It combines everything into one single, clear picture of the sky.
And this is where artificial intelligence, or AI, comes in. Because a human couldn't draw that picture fast enough.
Not a chance. The AI systems don't just process the data, they actively help fuse it together. They see patterns a human might miss and then instantly suggest the best weapon for each incoming target.
But a human still makes the final call.
Always. The commanders are always in the loop. The AI gives suggestions, but a human makes the final decision to launch.
Okay, so if the C5ISR network is the brain, we need the muscle, the interceptors, the shooters.
Right. And T-Dome is interesting because it connects systems Taiwan already has with a lot of new ones.
So what are we talking about? Let's start at the highest level.
At the top, for medium to high altitude targets, and especially for ballistic missiles, you have the US-made Patriot missiles. These are the heavy hitters, the bodyguards for the most important places.
But it's not all American tech. Taiwan's own defense industry is a big part of this, isn't it?
Absolutely crucial. They have their own family of missiles, the Skybow or Tiankung, and newer ones called Changkung.
And what do they do?
They're very versatile. They can take down aircraft, cruise missiles, and the newer versions are being upgraded to hit ballistic missiles too. They work with the Patriot system.
So we have the high layers covered. What about the middle ground? That's where cruise missiles like to fly low and fast.
For that middle layer, they're bringing in NASAMS. This is a U.S.-Norwegian system, and its key feature is that it's mobile.
Mobile, so you can move it around.
Exactly. You can quickly move them to protect a new target or reposition them if one area is under heavy attack. They're very effective against aircraft and cruise missiles.
And then there's the lowest layer, the really close-in stuff.
Yep, the low and slow threats. This is for all the small, cheap drones and simple rockets. This layer is all about short-range anti-drone weapons. It's designed to be cheap to run.
Right, because you don't want to fire a multi-million-dollar Patriot at a $10,000 drone.
You absolutely do not. That brings us right back to the AI. Because making that choice instantly under fire, that's an incredibly complex problem.
So the AI isn't just a targeting system, it's an economic manager.
That's a great way to put it. It's learning not just where the threats are, but what they are. Is it a bicycle or a Ferrari? Mm-hmm. And it saves the expensive interceptors for the threats that only they can stop.
So it's protecting the inventory of missiles.
That's maybe its most vital job. It makes sure you don't use up all your best assets in the first 5 minutes of a fight, leaving you vulnerable later. It's resource management under extreme pressure.
And this all connects back to Taiwan's own strengths. This isn't just about buying foreign tech.
Not at all. T-Dome relies on local industry. Taiwan's giant semiconductor and electronics industry is really the engine behind this whole command system.
I mean, they make the world's most advanced computer chips. That has to be a huge advantage.
It's a huge advantage. It provides the raw computing power for the AI and the specialized engineers to build it. Plus, they make the hardened chips that actually go inside the missiles themselves.
And I read they're even building a new national cloud computing center for this.
In Tainan, yes. It's going to host what they're calling sovereign AI models.
Sovereign AI, what does that mean?
It means AI that's built at home for defense. At that center, they will run millions of simulations, war games, basically. The AI will learn how to react to every possible attack scenario before it ever happens.
It's like a virtual training ground for the entire defense system.
That's it, exactly.
So this is a mix of domestic brainpower and international hardware. Let's talk more about those global connections. The U.S. role seems critical.
It's paramount. They are the main supplier. They provide the big pieces, the Patriots, the NASAMS, and huge parts of that command and control software that ties it all together.
And also the long-range radar.
Yeah.
Right, I saw a mention of something called PTOVE pause.
Yes, PAV pause. It stands for a very long name, but what it does is simple. It's a giant eye that can see thousands of kilometers away.
So it's an early warning system.
The ultimate early warning system. It can detect ballistic missiles the moment they launch, giving Taiwan precious extra minutes of warning time. And in missile defense, a minute can be the difference between hitting the target and not.
And this is backed by some serious money. These arms deals are worth billions.
Well over 10 billion US dollars in recent years just for the hardware and the work to integrate it all. It's a massive investment.
Now, while the U.S. is providing the hardware, the whole idea, that the concept seems to come from Israel.
It does. The sources are very clear that T-Dome is inspired by Israel's multi-layer defense. Most people know the Iron Dome for short-range rockets.
Right.
But Israel also has David's sling for the medium range and the Arrow system for high-altitude ballistic missiles. It's that layered approach Taiwan is learning from.
So what's the first lesson they're taking away?
How to handle a saturation attack, how to stop huge numbers of rockets and drones at once. That's about speed.
And the second lesson is maybe even more important. It's about what not to shoot.
Exactly. Israel's battle management software is incredibly smart. It can calculate if an incoming rocket is going to land in an empty field. If so, it just lets it fall. It doesn't waste a multi-million-dollar interceptor.
That saves a massive amount of money and missiles for the real threats.
Immense amounts. It makes the whole system economically sustainable during a long conflict.
Which brings us to the cost. Let's talk about the money. This isn't a small budget item.
No, it's so large they created a special budget for it. About 1.25 trillion new Taiwan dollars.
Which is, what, in U.S. dollars?
It's around 40 billion U.S. dollars.
40 billion dollars. Over how long?
Over 8 years, from 2026 to 2033. And that's a special budget outside of their normal annual defense spending. It shows you just how serious a priority this is.
So with 8 years and that much money, how do they plan to build this step by step?
The sources outline a clear 3-phase plan. The first is the short term.
And that is?
That's mostly software. It's about getting the systems they already have, the Patriots, the Skybows, to talk to each other better right now.
Okay, get the existing parts working as a team, then the medium term.
In the medium term, they start installing the new hardware. The NASAM's mobile systems go in, the AI command centers get their big upgrades, and they deploy all the new anti-drone weapons. That's when the layers really start to build up.
And the long-term goal.
The long-term phase, finishing around 2033, is about getting to full operational readiness. The whole system is integrated, tested, and ready to go. That's when the shield is considered strong enough to be a true deterrent against a massive attack.
So to wrap this all up, T-Dome is a huge $40 billion effort. It's a system of systems that combines Taiwan's own amazing tech industry with U.S. hardware and lessons learned from Israel.
A decade-long project to completely change the island's ability to defend itself.
And as you've said, the biggest challenge through it all is integration.
It all comes down to that. Making American software, Taiwanese missiles, and Norwegian platforms all work together inside one single unified digital brain.
好，今日咱课就上到这。咱自头讲到尾，就是规个T-Dome的迄个内容10几分。咱同学若有认真读吼，到即摆应该进步足济啊。咱差不多讲有2个月啊，咱的课拢总上差不多2个月。啊，T-Dome主要就是咧讲国防特别条例啦，已经封杀10几摆了吧。这大家拢应该来了解这个内容吼。啊，一个预算，它在一个特别的时间上面要出来，这个甲咱的甲美国的关系，拢有迄个相关嘛，对无？你以前的总统若讲要通过这种预算，没有必要嘛。你即马美国迄边要来台湾来强化这个国防的力量，啊，就是拄啊好离这个时阵，啊，像做总统，像有法度去 提出这样的预算，那你就把它卡着，一直不让它通过吗？好啦，咱今天讲到这，好，谢谢。